Are you wondering about your relationship, if it's healthy or not? If there are healthy attachments, or maybe even what healthy attachments look like in a relationship? Because possibly what's going on is you are feeling smothered and like you just are overwhelmed with the other person's emotions, or you're on the other end of the spectrum and you're feeling invisible and like you're not being heard or seen. And so this has left you wondering, what would healthy look like? Well, if you are looking for some way in which you can have air to breathe in this relationship, or perhaps you are wanting and just really longing to be seen, to be heard, to be valued, and you're wondering if that can happen, and is this normal? Is it okay? Is this healthy or not? I'm going to help you to understand what healthy attachments in relationships look like. If you're new here, please say hello. Let me know a little bit about yourself. If you're returning, please say hi. If you don't know me, my name is Tanya Cordenbrock. Now, I have worked for years as a professional counselor, but right now I am working online training women how to feel secure within themselves, to be able to love themselves, to feel loved and heard in their relationships, and to have a deeper relationship with God. And before we go any further, I hope that you will go ahead and subscribe so that you'll receive more of these teachings in the future. And also check below for a free resource that I have for you to help you with self-image. The first thing we want to look at today is the number one signpost of a healthy relationship. Now, when you think about getting into a relationship, especially an intimate relationship, there are some things that you probably want. You want to feel valued within that relationship. You want companionship. You want to have fun in the relationship. You want to feel loved, of course. And perhaps also you want some security from that relationship. But once you've gotten into it, then things seem to not be working out quite right. And perhaps it even seems kind of lopsided. Like you are the one who is always trying to put energy into the relationship, trying to make it work. And the other person is always pulling away, trying to get away from you, and you can't figure out what's going on. And it seems like you are the only one who cares about the relationship. Or perhaps you feel like the other person is just sucking you dry of all of your energy and all of your emotions, and that no matter how much you give and give and give, it never is enough and it's never quite right. And no matter which side of this that you land, whichever one describes you, let me just confirm for you that that is not a healthy relationship. And actually, there are some unhealthy attachments within the relationship that are causing this to happen. And this is because of the number one sign of a healthy relationship, and that is that you can be yourself. You can just be you in the relationship. And it doesn't mean you get to be obnoxious, you get to not care about the other person's feelings, but actually to the contrary, at the other end of the spectrum, you do care about the other person's feelings, yet you are able to do that without giving up the whole of who you are. When you have a healthy attachment, a secure attachment, you feel whole within yourself. You're okay being you. And then what you can do in a relationship is you can understand your own emotional needs. You understand what emotions you are feeling, and you can verbalize that in a healthy way, in a way that can be heard by the other person. But also, you know what it is that you need. So not only are you capable of saying what it is that's going on within you, but you can say, here is what I need from you in order to feel heard and to feel valued by you. Now, also, when you have that secure attachment and you feel whole within yourself, then you don't have to be guarded all the time. You don't have to have that wall up that protects you from others, nor do you have to be mean to the other person and yell at them in order to be heard and to get across to them what it is that you want them to hear from you. Now, of course, at this point, you're probably wondering, well, how do I get an emotionally healthy relationship? And, the tendency is to look at the other person and say, how can I have a healthy relationship when I am in a relationship with that person? But really, what has to be done is to look at this person, to say, how do I become emotionally healthy? How do I become emotionally secure and obtain this secure attachment so that I can understand my own emotions? I can speak about my emotional needs so that I can be emotionally present with someone else when there's a rift in the relationship, when someone's upset with me, so that when they have criticism, that it doesn't feel like it's crushing me, but instead I can stay intact. I can still care about them, but also maintain myself, to be able to stay present, to be able to hear them, to be able to hold on to the value of the relationship so that I'm not seeing the other person as the enemy against whom I have to defend myself, or that I have to attack them to make sure they don't hurt me. But also so that you don't see them as a problem that has to be fixed. And then you won't go into that analytical mode of trying to diagnose them or trying to figure out and understand exactly why they act the way they do and then how that can be fixed. But instead, you can be present with them. This is something that you can obtain within yourself. Now, how you obtain that emotional security and that secure attachment within yourself that's going to take some work, and there's too much to it that I can explain here. But it is something that we do work on in my Mastering Emotions programs. You are welcome to check that out. It is a program that I have designed for women. But also, as I mentioned earlier, I do have a free resource for you that can help you with this. And especially if you struggle in your relationship with God and your feelings about how He sees you. Now, what this resource will do is it will guide you in looking at scripture and meditating on that and looking at what happens inside of you as you meditate on God's feelings for you. Because what that is going to do is that's going to bring to the surface how it is that you really see yourself and how you respond to your emotions. That is going to go a long way in how you respond to other people's emotions and how you respond to emotional upsets in relationships. All right. Well, I hope you found this helpful in giving you a better understanding as to what a healthier relationship can look like and knowing what healthy attachment looks like in relationships. If you did find it helpful, please give me a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe for yourself so that you can get more of these teachings. Thank you for joining me today. Bye for now.